Hi guys, so I am in San Francisco right now with my friend Carla. She's actually from Argentina, but we're actually gonna explore Haight Street today. So when I first came to San Francisco, Haight was like my heaven. Like I was totally into hippie culture, music culture, I was all about it. And then when I moved here, I had a little bit of a different take on what Haight Street is like. So I'm gonna try to show you a little bit of everything, like the history and culture of Haight, what's actually here now, what the vibe is like, and what you can do as a tourist. Okay, so this is Golden Gate Park, and we are kind of at the end of Haight. So over there is Haight Street, and this is kind of the Hippie Hill area. So if you want to go explore Hippie Hill, that's right behind me. We're not going to do that today, but you might catch a good drum circle. You might catch people who have lived in the park for years and years and have stories of what Haight used to be like. You might find drugs, honestly. So let's go explore Haight. They shut down the McDonald's. What happened? Everyone's getting priced out of this area, I think is what's happening, because this Whole Foods is always popping. Carla, I think I need to take you into here. Okay. So this is Amoeba Music. It's a massive record store. We should go in. I don't know if I explained that place well, but basically there's like a ridiculous amount of records, a ridiculous amount of like CDs, posters, everything music. For music lovers, it's like heaven. So we spent a while in there. Carla got, how long were we in there?
I don't know.
It's fine. Carla ended up getting a record, like on vinyl. She actually has a turntable, which is cool. She got the Beatles, and it's apparently a German print. I'm gonna like put together a very brief history of Haight Ashbury so that you guys kind of, you know, understand if you're kind of new. And I'm gonna insert it here. Haight became a haven for hippies in the 60s. There were gorgeous Victorian homes with lots of rooms available, cheap rent, and there was a community forming that felt almost like a social experiment. They wanted to separate themselves from societal norms in order to seek joy and meaning in life. Life was peaceful, art was extremely important, free love, nomadic lifestyles, spirituality, these are all heavily accepted in this community. So as that hippie community grew in the Haight Ashbury area, it started to appear in a lot of public media. In other words, hippie culture was going mainstream. The peak of this was 1967, the Summer of Love. In early 1967, there was a human be-in held at San Francisco in Golden Gate Park. There was a free clinic and a free store that popped up. The free clinic was like free medical services, all operated on volunteer work. The free store was very similar, but it had to do with like regular daily needs like food and just household goods. It was just like this community-driven atmosphere all around the area. Back to 1967, the Summer of Love, nearly 100,000 people have come to San Francisco from all over the world. And they came for the hippie movement. There were a lot of music festivals that popped up nearby, the Monterey Pop Festival being probably the biggest of them. But the peak of fame for Haight Ashbury was when members from Jefferson Airplane, the Grateful Dead, and Janis Joplin all lived near the Haight Ashbury intersection. As quick as it began in later 1967, the hippie scene started to deteriorate because there were just too many people and Haight Ashbury could not accommodate that many people. Today, Haight Ashbury is a tourist area, and so that's why this video is mainly focused on walking around and looking at the different shops, kind of just reminiscing about the culture, thinking about what used to be there. But honestly, that hippie movement was such a short part of Haight Ashbury, but it was so meaningful that that's what people think of. And there was a bit of a resurgence of the Haight area in the 70s. Ultimately, that area today is a tourist destination and an extremely expensive residential neighborhood. I think next we need to get some food somewhere. There's a lot of options here, but one I want to point out right now is kind of a hidden gem in my mind. It's called Ploy 2 Thai Cuisine. You actually enter from this little door like down there, and then you go upstairs, and it's very small. It's like a mom and pop type place, and it can feel a little awkward inside because there's like not very many tables, but it is fantastic food. Citrus Club over here, which is next to Ploy 2 Cuisine, that's over here. Citrus Club is a very popular Thai restaurant. So we decided to go for the Citrus Club because Carla says she loves noodles. So this is the place to go if you love noodles. I I got the papaya salad, which I never would have gotten like the last time I was there, just because I didn't know about papaya salads, and it was super good. Check out the Citrus Club, that was yummy. This is something I wanted to point out to you. This is the sock shop. It's literally a shop just for socks. So this place is called Love to Death. I don't actually think they'll let me film in here, so I'll just kind of explain it real quick. There was a TV show for a while. That's how I found them. I think that's how most people found them. I don't remember the name of it. I'll put it on the screen now. But basically they have a lot of like creepy things. So like taxidermy and stuff, and like actual like bugs that they turned into jewelry, and like baby doll heads. Is very creepy. So this Goodwill is like my favorite Goodwill ever. Go in there, go straight to the vintage section. It's just to the right if it's all still the same. Best Goodwill ever. For anyone who is like a YouTube fashion person, this is like monumental in San Francisco. So this is like the Haight Street grocery, and they have ridiculously good coffee here. I mean, last time I was here, I thought it was really yummy. So we're gonna go into one of my favorite art stores. So this is like a great shop to go to for t-shirts, Haight Ashbury t-shirts. It's low-key overpriced because it's Haight Ashbury.
Really?
So we are actually on Haight and Ashbury right now, which is like the famous intersection. Most tourists, they come here, they get a picture with the Haight Ashbury thing, they eat their ice cream from Ben & Jerry's, which is way overpriced, and then they go home. Maybe they pop into this gift shop and get a t-shirt to remember. That's what I did the first time I came here. My mom and I, we just kind of walked up and down, and then I totally had a t-shirt for a very long time that I had from this shop. So we should go in there.
Yeah.
So there is the famous sign, Haight Ashbury. How exciting, and here's a bus going by. Very Haight. Yeah, this is Haight Ashbury. We'll do a little, there you go. Now you've seen it. Ta-da! And also you can see the Panhandle from here. Like way down this street is a park. People call it the Panhandle for a lot of reasons.
I've heard of it.
There's panhandlers, there's the DMV, all kinds of things. That dog had a really cute costume. We are actually gonna go to a historic gastropub. Apparently the Grateful Dead used to frequent it. We'll see if we can get in. That's what I'm kind of worried about. But real quick, this is a famous thing on Haight. It's just an art piece. I don't actually know what this signifies. It's just ladies' legs coming out of the top of a building. And then Piedmont Boutique is like, basically, if you have goals of becoming a drag queen,
Yeah.
this is your store. It's an extremely fun store to look at. You can get earrings of any kind, like banana earrings. They have them.
That's so fun.
Hamburger earrings, any kind of like jewelry, whatever. It's just, it's bizarre, it's crazy, it's great for costumes. This is a tie-dye store. Basically everything's tie-dye and everything's like really expensive. Wow, what are with all these hearts? I don't even know what it is. This building I just wanted to point out because it's beautiful. I saw it while they were painting that actually. It was really, really cool to watch because I was over here having a beer. This is Magnolia Pub and Brewery. It's a historic gastro pub and like all the old psychedelic rock musicians frequented it. It's like a thing. We're gonna have a beer. Maybe we can find a spot at the community table. That's a thing here in San Francisco. And then yeah, we can enjoy some beer. At the beginning of the video that I was going to talk a little bit about why I came to dislike the Haight Ashbury area as I lived in San Francisco longer and longer. And so basically what I meant by that is that the more I came to Haight, the more I realized what is required from the community around you in order to support a group of people who aren't working but need money for food. So let me back up a step. Basically, homelessness is still a thing on Haight. And I don't take this lightly when I say it, but it is pretty clear that there is a great deal of homelessness by choice happening on Haight. I don't know what circumstances people are coming from, so everyone has their own individual story. However, it's quite clear that there are still groups of of people who are living off this hippie ideal, like this mindset, this utopia that they have built up about what hate is, and they're trying to, I don't know, bring some sort of resurgence. So you'll see people like congregating in the streets in crowds. They're all dressed like hippies. They, you know, all have a lot of dogs. They're playing music, and there's nothing wrong with that. The only thing to me that really gets me down is that the reality is there's no more free clinic. There's no more free store. These groups of people are relying on donations from the public of food and of money. So instead of, you know, having a job to support that lifestyle, it seems to be, for the most part, that they're relying on other people to have jobs, which I don't like. However, that's an assumption I'm making based on what I've seen over the many times I've been to the Haight area. It could very well be that these people have jobs. You know, I have no idea, and they choose to live on the street, or maybe they don't live on the street, they just hang out there all day. I don't know the real story, but I came to dislike that aspect of relying on other people rather than working yourself. And I think the hippie culture was a lot more than just begging on the street. I am a big fan of the hippie culture and of the history of the hippie movement. Haight holds a very special place in my heart, and I will always come back to visit. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you are headed to San Francisco soon, and if there's anything you want me to film in the area. Normally I'd say I'll see you guys next week, but I'm actually taking a real vacation. Like a real vacation. I'm not putting up a video next week. I'm not posting much to social media, but you should follow me on Instagram stories to follow along with what we do on our vacation. There's gonna be mountain adventures, beach adventures. I'm so excited. I will see you guys here on YouTube in about 2 weeks, but if you follow me over on Instagram stories, I'll see you very soon. So, okay, bye.